Hi, this is Jared Davidson, and these are the 5 things that I love the most about the Panasonic GH5. Number 1, the IBIS. I love the in-body image stabilization in this camera. It's fantastic. You can shoot with manual lenses and it's so smooth. Regardless of what lens you use, it's so smooth. You can get panning and tilting shots as though they're on a tripod. If you're in a stationary position, you can get the most amazing buttery smooth shots. When you're walking with the camera, it's not as smooth with manual lenses. I haven't yet tried the dual IS lenses, but still obviously much smoother than the GH4. So the IBIS is amazing, and that was the feature that drew me to the camera more than anything else. Amazing. I have a ton of manual lenses and they work really well with the IBIS. I'm currently shooting this with a Voigtlander Nocton 17.5mm lens, and I'm going to do a video on how the IBIS works with this lens. It's going to be my next video, so make sure you subscribe for that. But I love the IBIS. That's number 1. Number 2 is the ergonomics. The GH cameras always have fantastic ergonomics. They have buttons wherever you need them. Everything's accessible. The menus, everything makes sense. It's great. I love the ergonomics in the GH5, but I'm a little bit perturbed by a few things. But first, let me speak about all of the fantastic strengths of the ergonomics of the GH5. Firstly, the buttons. There are buttons everywhere. It's so customizable. Function buttons everywhere in the menu, on the camera. The way it feels in the hand, it feels fantastic in the hand. It's the right weight, it grips nicely, it just feels right, it works fantastically in the hand. The screen, the second part of the ergonomics, the screen, the monitor. The monitor is bright, it's big, it's very, very responsive, a fantastic monitor, very, very important. It's a flip-out monitor, you can flip it around, it's perfect for vlogging, excellent. The third aspect of the ergonomics, which makes it so awesome, is its toughness. Can be taken into the freezing cold, it's weatherproof, it's a rugged, tough camera, and that's very, very important. If you're going to be out about on the field, you want to have a tough, rugged camera. Compared to the Sony cameras, they just don't feel strong, they overheat. The GH5 doesn't overheat, the battery life is good, it's just a strong, solid camera that does what it needs to do, when it needs to do it, and that's so important. Fantastic ergonomics. Now to the drawbacks. There are a couple of issues. The first issue is the display button. The display button in the GH4 was, you had to press it quite hard for it to work. The GH5, it's overly sensitive, and the display button is positioned in a right where your finger would naturally fall, and it's very, very easy to press it accidentally. This has happened to me numerous times, and it's a very, very sensitive button. Now, having a dedicated record button on top is great, but I really like that record button at the back. That was really useful. I wish we still had a back record button as well, because if you're in manual movie mode, the shutter is the record button, which is great. I love that. So the shutter being a record button, you already have a front record button, the shutter, but now we don't have a back one. So I kind of miss that back record button that we had on the GH4, though I do like the one on top. Number 3, the video recording options. The GH5 is full of options. You can change it to 24 Hz, to NTSC, to PAL, and with each setting you get a range of quality settings and bit rates. There's so much you can do with the camera. I love the 4K 60p. It's the only camera at this price range that can do that, and it's fantastic. It's so awesome to use, to get smooth motion and to slow it down when you need it. It does that in 150 megabits per second. You have the 400 megabits per second or intra codec that does 422 10 bits. That's amazing internally. No external recorder needed to do 422 10 bit. Amazing. So all of the video recording options in the GH5, and there are so many of them, are amazing. Number 4, slow motion. I love the variable frame rates coming out of this camera. Again, I mentioned already the 4K 60p, which can be double slowed down if you're in 30p, and even more if you slow it down to 24p. But the 180 frames per second slow motion, I did a video on that, check it out. Beautiful. You can get really beautiful footage with the 180 frames per second slow motion. I love it. I made a video about 5 things that the GH5 could do better, and in it I said a distant number 5 is the slow motion. The video quality of the slow motion could be better, and I was nitpicking about that. The video quality is still really good, and it's so smooth, it's beautiful. So I did nitpick, but you know, we always want to try and help the camera to improve. I love the slow motion, don't get me wrong. It's one of the reasons why I bought the camera. The slow motion, I love it, I love it, I love it. It's a fantastic feature in this camera. Number 5, manual focus. The GH5 is a great camera for manual focus, which is a blessing for filmmakers. The focus peaking is fantastic. And if you're using Panasonic lenses, the manual focus works very, very well as well. And you can also leverage the focus by putting continuous autofocus off and using tap to focus. So the manual focus functionality of the GH5 is superb. As I said earlier, I'm currently shooting this with the Voigtlander Noctine, and the focus peaking works really, really great. Better than the GH4 in my mind, and I have so many manual focus lenses, so I'm very, very grateful for the sterling performance of the manual focus of the GH5. So those are the things, the 5 things that I love most about my Panasonic GH5. It's a feature-packed camera. There's so much more that the camera has to offer. Anamorphic. The menus are just full of features. There's so much this camera can do at this price point. It's very, very impressive. I'm so happy with my GH5. I still love my GH4, but good job, Panasonic. You made a wonderful piece of gear that I am enjoying using very much. Anyway, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe for my upcoming stabilizer video, testing the in-body image stabilization with the Voigtlander lens. It does a really great job. And also comparing the video, I'm using no IBIS. I'm using IBIS and E-video stabilization, which the camera can do. You get a slight crop when you do that. Or just using the IBIS, no E-video. But the 3 settings, I compare them. You can check it out. Coming up soon. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao for now. Bye.